Why don't you want to follow? If you are just a junior prophet. There are major prophets and junior prophets. Or minor. Or small. Amen. Hallelujah. I hope you are seeing what I'm saying. Can you see it? Can you? Are you sure? Let's read. We'll see if you're seeing it.
And 50 men of the sons of the prophets.
Now these ones we are also told their number. Now it's a problem when you see 50 prophets, because prophets must always be 66, because that's the maximum number of the prophet. Read.
And 50 men of the sons of the prophets went and stood to view afar off.
This is a different group now. And they were 50, and even the Bible doesn't bother to name one of them. Only tells us about the number. You have to make a choice if you will be counted among the statistics or your name will be written in the book of remembrance. So if you come to church and we have meetings about you, we are doing Tibayu and all that, all the years in your church, all the years when you were in the church, what do you think they should write in the book of remembrance? That there was this mother. Yo! Let's read the Bible.
And they too stood by Jordan. And Elijah took his mantle and wrapped it together and smote the waters.
Yes.
And they were divided thither and thither, so that they too went over on dry ground.
It also tells us that he's still following, right? Verse 9, let's read.
And it came to pass, when they were gone over, that Elijah said unto Elisha, ask what I shall do for thee.
Okay. Now you ask a question. Very late. Very late. Now he realized that if I don't give this guy something, he's actually willing to enter the whirlwind with me. I'm telling you, that's why now the prophet is starting to talk this way. Because remember what was his promise? His promises are, if God is alive and you are alive, I will never leave you. And now the problem was God wanted to take Elijah alive. Which means even God couldn't stop what this guy wanted to do because of his determination. Which means you were going to have two prophets who were going to be taken by the whirlwind. So Elijah now decides, he says, hey, my son, you have been following me. What do you want? I don't know if you saw it prophetically that this guy is looking for something or what. But let's read and hear what the Bible says.
Before I be taken away from thee.
Okay.
And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. And he said,
okay. He's asking impartation. And impartation takes patience. Actually, impartation is not activated at the day it happens. It is in you, but it takes patience. Because impartation is dependent on how you go to follow. I can impart on you, then you go to the tavern and you think you operate. There is a mystery in impartation that takes patience. How will you be successful in life? Information, inspiration, impartation. Those three you will be successful in life. Impartation. He was looking for? Now, this time is not like he's given impartation. He was made to request it. After great steps of following. Which means as a church, what am I saying? As a prophet, I will go to Bethel with you. Some of you will remain in Bethel with your little prophecies. will go to Jericho together. Some of you will decide to say, Daddy is leaving. We saw it yesterday. Tulani, Daddy is leaving. We saw it. Do you know about it? Did God tell you? I had a dream. I mean, do you know how many dreams goes around about the prophet in a prophetic church? And not that they are not correct. God shows you we are a prophetic church. Hey. Impartation. Can you say impartation? Impartation. Shout impartation. Impartation. Shout impartation. Impartation. Shout impartation. Impartation. Why do we have a Moses and a Joshua? Why is it like that? Why do we have an Eli, then we have a Samuel, and a David and a Saul? Transfer of leadership from one generation to another. Why do we have something like that? Why do we have Jesus and the 12 apostles? It's a transfer of the anointing, right? Now, why do we have those apostles and nothing after? And why do we now have our fathers and nothing after? It is not with the fathers, it is in how we are following. Don't you think? Oh, yeah, you don't want me to say that. Follow. Do you know, look at me. Do you know that, how many of you knows the spirit of the Antichrist? The spirit of the Antichrist. You know the Bible talks about the Antichrist. Do you know the Bible says the spirit of the Antichrist is any spirit that doesn't want to admit that Jesus came in the flesh. Right? It is every spirit. When you hear a man preaching that don't follow any man, follow Christ, you are actually listening to the Antichrist. Because to suggest that don't follow any man, you are as well saying that don't follow Christ, because Christ can only be followed when he's a man. The Bible doesn't even tell us to follow the Holy Spirit, because we're not supposed to follow spirits. The Holy Spirit leads us. We are supposed to follow a man who is Christ. You don't want to hear that. Maybe I'm from that. I don't follow any man. Follow Christ. Where is Christ? Who is Christ? And Christ is in heaven, seated at the right hand of the Father. Not as a spirit, he has a body that you can touch. When John saw him, you could see the marks in his hands. So even when he's in heaven, he's still being followed as a man. What is the spirit? You think maybe the Antichrist is all these games happening. It's very tricky. It will take wisdom to see it. And there are things that Satan is not doing them. There are things that we just play games around the church. Satan is very, when he makes a move, he will make a great move. Some of these things are just immaturity that we are doing at church. And God will forgive us. It's fine. Impartation is by following. Tell your neighbor, impartation is by following. If this is your fourth church, which means you have a problem of following. If this is your fourth church and I am your seventh spiritual father, you have a problem of following. You might be following someone very soon. You have a problem of following. You can only follow things when you hear about them. When you are close to them, you don't want to follow. Hey, check your number and say, the spiritual father you have now, what number is he? Number 7. You have a problem of following. You have a problem of following. Okay. Who should be your spiritual father? A man that must be your spiritual father is a man that carries your inspiration as well. You can't let a man that keeps on saying, there are no prophecies, blah, 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 then to be your father. Then it means the prophetic in you will be dying. You can't have an inspiration to move in the supernatural and have a spiritual father that can move in the supernatural. Doesn't work like that. At least, although he can't move in the spiritual, supernatural, at least his mouth must move in the spiritual, supernatural. Just to say there are healings. God can do miracles. God can still speak. Don't crush it. His mouth is moving in the supernatural at least. Impartation is from following. Impartation is from. Impartation is from. Impartation is from following. There was a prophet, I think, around Porch, back in the days, who went to be with the Lord. I think his name was Corpus, if I remember very well. You remember him? He was a great man in our land. You remember him? The white man, his videos are there on YouTube. He was a prophet that has gone there. You know how powerful that guy was? It came to a point where the man of God could be carried to church when he was sick to come and heal people. And he could sit at the chair and heal a lot of them. He could heal the whole church when he himself was sick. I'm just saying, there are certain things that makes some of you not to follow certain people, which are not the reasons why you shouldn't follow. Amen. Because when you follow a man, you follow that man because he carries an anointing. And most of the time, my anointing is not my anointing, it's for you. No one has a gift for them. People have gifts for others. They are left that way. But you know, most of those people you leave, maybe they have one mistake. As for you, you were doing all these things, but he was not leaving you as his son. Imagine all the things. Jesus, let me conclude, we close the service. Read, my son.
And he said, Thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee.
This impartation still has an if after this much following. That's why many people can miss impartation. Imagine after following, the Father is not saying it can't be possibly saying, but if you can see me, if you can see me being taken up, then you will receive it, right? Yes, right.
It shall be so unto thee.
Okay.
But if not, it shall not be so.
If not, it shall not. If you can't see me going high, then you won't receive the impartation. Do you agree to that? Amen. Do you agree to that?
Amen.
Now, I want you to learn to be patient as a believer. Let God not give you a microwaved power because it will run away very fast. Let God cook you. Let God give you a great impartation. And closely follow a man. You get my point? Closely follow. Amen. Now, I've told you about Prophet Arnold in this church. Prophet Arnold, he mentored me and he mentors me. And we have been here in this church and a lot of people have came, KBF came. But those of you that we even moved together from Embafield to this place, you have always known about my father, Prophet Monono Ganiwa, right? There is a reason why it is like that. You can't. You can have people, yes, Paul puts it this way, you can have many fathers, but there's that one father. And I've always known who is my father. I've always known, and I'm telling you, I respect greatly that OKB came and they helped us as a church, right? Imagine if we could have just been without direct access to my father, what could have become of our church? You can follow him. Why? Let me show you something. Why do you think those prophets were prophesying Elisha? They wanted him. Because in their prophecy, there's no solution at all. They're only telling him that your father is going to be taken out of your hands today. And the problem with Elisha is he was too much of a servant. They only wanted to make him a servant. That's why they were looking for him. But he said, I follow my father. Follow, learn to follow. This thing of, anyway, if you are, move. People, they change the churches. Yo. If you attend here, attend here. You get my point? When you go there, you're like, my father, man of God, I've been running my race, people of God. I remember sometimes back about 2014 there, I used to have my sons and daughters making meetings for me saying, my father, never will I leave you. I can't trace even one of them to me. What happened? I went with them to Jericho. And I said to them, tarry here. They are still at Jericho. Because I wouldn't want you to be crying for what God has called me for. So let me face it. So tarry here. Follow. Tell your neighbor, learn to follow. Tell your neighbor, learn to follow. You will receive a great impartation. You will receive a what? A great impartation. My other question is, when these sons of the prophet were prophesying about someone's father, where were their father? I don't know if they're the father or what, but also it's a conduct of, how can you being my son and I'm mentoring you in the prophetic, how can I tell you to go prophesy someone's father? And you're like this, you are busy with someone's father. Yeah, you see that man is gonna fall. Hey, what now does it not Judah? Follow. I attended Dr. Marole's church. I attended Wong Chinyani's church. So the churches that I can remember in my life. And I'm not an enemy with them. If I go to church, they're like, our young men is here. Because those are churches. Why should? Some of you even made meetings. You fought with them and of God, there is that. Now you left. Now you are here. I know you're about to fight me as well. May I have one message for you. Tarry. Remain there in that department. I'm going forward. Tarry. Amen. Let's attend. Let's be at Judah. Let's join Judah programs and all that. We are here at school. If you even attend with us at Venda, at Soweto, yes, it's cool. Let's attend church. But if you attend here because you're a student, attend. When you go home, go back to that man of God. Maybe that man of God doesn't see things. Listen to him. Listen. Some of you saying that I hate this church, they don't see things. But they don't see things, but they are reading the word for you, king. However, when they are preaching the word, can't what the professor. Whatever to reach you out of the carbon ukoni sauri niluveleleka kana nilichiwa. And after church, I can say, man of God, hey, that message was, it did something to me. Man of God, I have a caution. Number one is something. Ah, Jesus. Can you say impartation? Impartation. People of God, I advise you, I pray for you, learn to be patient. Learn to be patient. When God is working something, be patient. Be patient. And when you get when you say, okay, in YouTube, I have this prophet I'm listening to, be patient. So like the teachings don't work, just be patient. You can listen to different people. But imagine in one day you've listened to 7 prophets and they are saying different information and you don't know the source of that information. Imagine you listen to a prophet that is saying, okay, businesses are run this way, are run this way. Now you go to this other. This one says, yeah, there are people doing businesses and churches. And you get that information. I just want to announce to you that you have met minimum requirements to be poor. You don't listen to someone opposing your inspiration. You get someone you can learn from, you keep on learning, you go forward with it. And you follow. You do what? You do what? You do what? Amen. Well, I'm not from Pretoria. My father is in Harar, and I'm telling you, I've never been in Pretoria, even to attend any service in Pretoria. Not because I don't, let me put it very well, I need to be careful with Pretoria, because somehow I think there's something that the enemy didn't put on. It's just my thought. Thinking, why? If the enemy visits countries, I think the day he arrived in SA, he arrived in Pretoria. I'm just thinking, well, with the recent things that has been happening, I think I was very proud with the followers because they said we are following Papa. And it works for them, don't you think? I mean, how can you have people matured like that, doing that, who have money like that? Some of them have more money than you do, which means they know what they're receiving. And they follow. What do they do? What do they do? Even with the resurrection movement, people are still following. They don't care. Try to talk to them if you want to. They don't care. To them, we are just those people in Bethel. They are just saying, we know, keep quiet. We are following Papa. That's all they are saying to you. And you have asked, we're not even following our fathers. What are we doing? Talking about other people's fathers. To be successful, you need information, inspiration, impartation. Impartation is by following. It's by what? It's by what? It's by what? Tomorrow at least go greet someone that is a car. How can you have to? All people in your phone are walking, all of them in your phone. And when will you drive? And how will you have that impartation? At least have friends that are driving. All your friends are single and you are single as well. At least have a friend that has a ring. At least. Listen to me. Spirit has a tendency. I'm telling you, spirit has a tendency. Look at your neighbor and say,